Dear students, today we shall discuss the strategic management subject 22 MBA 25. Today we will be discussing the last unit of strategic management, that is strategy evaluation, that is strategic review and audit, evaluation of the crafted strategy. So in this unit we will be discussing about strategic review and audit, strategic control, then how to establish the strategic controls. There will be discussing four different types of strategic controls. Then budgeting systems, scheduling, then KSFs, monitoring performance and evaluating deviations, and the challenges of strategy implementation. Now coming to strategic review and audit, the first concept of this unit. So strategic review and audit. Strategic review is nothing but evaluating the framed strategy or implemented strategy, or controlling the strategy, so that we can do through a review and audit method. So before that, let us understand what is strategic control. Controlling of implemented strategy. Strategic control is concerned with tracking the strategy as it is being implemented, detecting problems or changes in underlying premises and making necessary adjustments. It is concerned with controlling and guiding efforts on behalf of the strategy as action is taking place, and while the end result is still several years into the future. The main aim of strategic control is to find out whether the strategy moves in the desired direction or yielding desired gains. So for establishing strategic control, there is a time gap between the initial implementation of a strategy and achievement of its intended results. During this, investment are made and actions are taken in order to improve new strategy. How to establish strategic control? Here we follow four different types of strategic control. The first one is premise control, then implementation control, strategic surveillance, then special alert control. Coming to the first one, premise control. It is based on the assumption or predicted condition that they are the planning premises, that is which happens in the available premises, that is within the organization. It is designed to check systematically and continuously whether or not the premise set during the planning and implementation process are still valid. That is, premises are concerned with two factors. One is environmental factor, that is a control with respect to inflation, technology, interest rates, regulation and demography, social change, and then industry factors, competitors, suppliers and substitutes, and barriers of entry. Then implementation control. The action phase of strategic management is located in series of steps, programs, investments and moves undertaken over a period of time or implement the strategy. Special programs are undertaken, the key people are added or reassigned, that is resources are mobilized. Whatever the control that is exerted in the premises, that has to be taken care by taking certain actions. So that is implementation control. Implementation control is designated to assess whether the overall strategy should be changed in light of unfolding events and results associated with incremental steps and actions that implement the overall strategy. The third one is strategic surveillance, premise control and implementation control are focused, that we call as focused control. Strategic surveillance is designed to check a broad range of events inside and outside the company that are likely to threaten the course of firm's strategy. That is, in order to have a control on the implemented strategy with respect to uh, the competition or within the market, keen watch or keen observation on the systems or on the developments is very much required. That kind of activity that has been initiated to know the developments or the performance of that, no, so that we call as surveillance. The fourth one is special alert control. A special alert control is the need to thoroughly and often rapidly reconsider the firm's basic strategy based on sudden unexpected event. Then the next type of control is operational control. This will guide, mentor and evaluate progress in meeting annual objectives, while the strategic controls attempts to steer the company over a long period. Operational control provide post-action evaluation and control over short time periods. So in the first stage we discussed about business control, that is through premise control, and the next one is operational control. Here also the company need to follow certain steps. They are first to set the standards of performance and measure actual performance, then identify deviations from standards and initiate corrective action or adjustment. That is 4 steps common to all post action controls. Then types of operational control systems are, so that the how we can analyze, evaluate against the standard. So the standard could be as a budget, could be the pre-planned schedules or key success factors which are framed. So this serves as the standards. Against such standards the actual performance will be evaluated. Now coming to the first type of standard, that is budget or budgeting systems. They get the set standards against which action can be measured. Here we have different types of budgets like revenue budget, capital budget and expenditure budget. And scheduling is a tool for allocating the time constrained resources or arranging the sequence of interdependent activities. The success of strategy implementation is quite dependent on both. That is, scheduling offers a mechanism to plan, monitor and control these dependencies. The third factor is key success factors. They are important because they focus on improved productivity, high employee morale, then improved product or service quality, increased earnings per share, growth in market share, then completion of new facilities. Then monitoring performance and evaluating deviations. Operational control system require the establishment of performance standards. That is, timely information must be obtained so that the deviations can be identified and understanding cause actions taken to correct or exploit them. The deviations observed may be attributed primarily to internal factors or discrepancies. Here the organization has some challenges. The challenges of strategy implementation are, the strategy maker should answer these questions, that is, who are to carry out strategic plan and what must be done to align companies operations in an independent way, and how everyone is going to work together. So then by assessing successful implementation requires an effective organization, or people working at all levels should know how their actions interpret with actions of others to support executive firm strategy, and functional plans and policies need to be followed carefully and implemented with active support. The political factors, that the way of effective implementation of strategy should be understood properly, where it requires proper communication of plans, the strategies and policies to various functions. So again, that is by effectively controlling the McKinsey 7S framework. So here we have different 7S, so where three are the four hard S and four are the soft S. Structure, strategy, system are the hard S, and skills, staff, style and shared values are the soft S. So these 6S will influence on, act on the shared values, and these are interlinked. So an effective McKinsey 7S framework will definitely control the effectiveness of the strategy. This is the McKinsey 7S framework is an effective uh, evaluation technique, generally will be followed by all the organizations. So this technique has been given by a McKinsey, which is a consultancy firm. They have created the model, and this will be evaluated against company structure, organization structure, and the organization's present strategy, how it is functioning, and about its system, that is mainly about the controlling mechanism. Then about the style, so what type of leadership style the company has, and the type of staff employees it possesses, that is the management staff, the qualified employees staff, or the skilled laborers, unskilled laborers, or what type of background and what type of qualified people or intellectual assets the company possesses. Then the skills, the different techniques, or the practices, policies and practices the organization is following in order to effectively function with respect to its strategy, can be assessed through McKinsey's 7S framework. So this will act upon the culture of the organization, that can be clearly seen, or it is visible as shared values in the of the organization, so that one can recognize in their quality policy, vision or mission statement. So this is about McKinsey's 7S framework. So these are certain tools or mechanisms for effective evaluation of strategic process of an organization. So here in this unit we discussed about the effective evaluation of the crafted strategy with respect to premise control, and through the different levels of the organization at the business level and the operational level. Then through an effective leadership, that is organizational leadership, what it is and how it can be channelized, and through an effective culture policy. Then through key success factors, then scheduling, that is different types of operational control mechanisms like budgeting, scheduling, then key success factors, then effective monitoring systems, challenges, then about McKinsey 7S framework. So these are the general evaluating mechanisms a company will be following. So with this we have completed the strategic management subject. So in this subject we had discussed about, so what is strategy, strategic management, and how the strategy will be formulated, implemented and evaluated in a system. So and what is its significance.